Welcome back to the Entrepreneurs Podcast. Today we have an absolutely amazing colleague and dear friend of mine. Let me introduce you to the one and only and absolutely incredible Claudia Rickard. Hi, Claudia.
Hi, Lenora. Thank you for having me on. I love it. So thank you very much. And
I
I think you're amazing as well. So
I love how we resonate so much with each other. So I have a variety of questions that I know our listeners are going to absolutely adore. Do you want to tell them a little bit about yourself, or you want to just jump right into the questions?
do you know what? Jump into the questions because then they'll find out about who I am anyway. They'll
Okay.
hopefully see that I am authentic. I am absolutely passionate about what I do. And, it's like, why not go for it?
All right. So the amazing work that you do you remember the moment when it became oh so apparent to you that this is your life's path? This is the work that you're going to do.
Yes, I do. And it's a sad story.
Mm,
It came about, and that's why I'm actually writing a book at the moment as well called Abuse. And sadly, it is about my children.
mm,
Um, I I never had sexual abuse,
mhm.
but all three of my children have.
Yeah.
And and I didn't really know much about it until sadly I did and
Yeah.
had to know even more about it.
Yeah.
And so, yes, it became my passion to actually help anybody and everybody who has had this in their lives.
Yeah.
And I refuse to use that word victim.
Hmm.
They may feel they want to use that at the beginning.
Yeah.
In my experience, at least with two of my children, they have acknowledged they are survivors.
Mm.
And that is where I go to with everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, this happened. It sucks. And now what?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's move on. And how can we do that uh,
Yeah.
to the best of our abilities? Because, in my opinion, Lenora, otherwise, the perpetrator, the person who did this, is still winning.
Yeah.
And that's just not on.
Yeah. Yeah. I know you and I have a lot of experience about working with people in that arena, and it's heartbreaking
Mhm.
every single time. And one of the best phrases that I heard was my coach had said to me, "The worst is over. You
Mhm.
survived." And I
Mhm.
love that you mentioned that to your kids feel like they survived. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, a lot of them they came to it themselves.
Yeah.
And when somebody owns it,
Yeah.
that's their new movie. That's their new story that they will then rewrite for themselves. When
Very much so.
people actually own it, their own
Yeah.
survival.
Absolutely. So your whole approach to the way that you work with people was born from this.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Uh,
That's
I,
incredible.
it came about mostly with my daughter. Um, I had, I hadn't even known, Lenora, that we were anchoring in when she was a little girl,
Yeah.
um, through play, safety, love, and security, unconditional love, while we
Mm.
were playing a game,
Yeah.
Shadow Puppets, and we
Yeah.
had Mummy Bunny and Baby Bunny, and that is how it actually started that foundation, if you like. And I always
Yeah.
explain to people that as for the parents, we like to grow our children the strong roots.
Yeah.
Okay, we have our little seed, our little baby, and this is what we really want to do for our children. We want to grow them strong roots. Okay,
Yes.
we're the foundation, and within that it has to be unconditional love,
Yeah.
and then they grow their trunk. Okay, start to
Mm.
sprout up, and then we know that as children go to secondary school, sorry, I call that, in England, what do you call it here, a high school, they go to middle school,
Hmm.
and they start to grow their branches. Okay, well, we all know that there's, children are mean.
Yeah.
There's girlfriend problems, boyfriend problems, there's grade issues, there's not making a school team, there's this, there's that, there's stuff
Mm-hmm.
that's happened. And so a branch will get broken here and there. Twigs will
Mm-hmm.
fall off because there's always a storm, okay?
Yeah.
Because that is life. Now, if we have built our children the strong roots and the strong trunk, if we have given them that base, then they, as we know, they will grow their branches back. Now, I was fortunate enough, I did give my daughter that, that strong, that unconditional love.
Yeah.
So that when, and I had no idea this had happened to her.
Yeah.
However, it all came about through, and unfortunately, we all know there was COVID, and no school for 2 years. And I believe that left her and a lot of other children with too much time to think, to overthink, to catastrophize. And there was no distractions.
Yeah.
And she actually started to hurt herself. And it was one night she came through to my room sobbing. It was New Year's Eve. Sobbing. It was a scary sob. And I got out of bed, got into bed with her, and I held her. And I said, can you tell me what it is? And she couldn't tell me. And then don't ask me what made me do it. I got Mummy Bunny out, you see. And she got her baby bunny out with the little ears down. And she was able to tell Mummy Bunny what had happened to her. Because all that time ago, we had unwittingly, I didn't know I was doing that.
Yeah.
Had anchored in that unconditional love.
Yeah.
So she couldn't tell me because I was the one who was sort of, say, moaning at the state of her bedroom, who was doing this, what, that, whatever. But she could tell the bunny, Mummy Bunny, because Mummy Bunny never reacted. No, Mummy Bunny never told her off. It was always play, safety, love, and security.
Yeah.
And Lenora, I shared that with Cheryl Elman. And as I was learning sleep talk from her, because again, that's another thing for children. And it's the 2-minute gift a parent gives to their child when they're asleep. So I was learning that because we're always, learning. We keep on expanding our skills. And she said to me, Claudia, you've got to do something with that. Have to.
Yeah.
And I did. So it's now become, something bigger and greater, and it's worldwide. And there's, people that's one of the things in it.
Yeah.
One. Because we've got to then, and it's actually, I've included how I've always worked with children.
Yeah.
And it's, there's my emotional intelligence training that I train with the parents, because I believe it's really important that parents come in and join in. And then they take responsibility for the environment that they create for their child. Again, many of them will do sleep talk with their children then as well. So I've got something else I can give them. And then I may see the child, or I will see the child, and we will do drawings, draw around their body, or the parent does. And it's very kinesthetic work. Children love to play. Children love
very
to
much
play.
so. Very much so.
Lenora, I don't hear the story.
Yeah.
They just know there's a feeling. And I use this expandable ball that I got from Carl Smith. And I explain that when they may feel, when they're trapped, there's something that sticks on here. And I don't use the big words. I just say it's like a blob of poo. Okay. And we're going to take that off. And then, of course, you've got the child squeezing that, and that's fine. It's good. Oh, that was a long one. And it makes, and because it's about laughter as well. And then it's distraction, but they're already starting to dissociate from it.
Yeah.
It's drawn out of their body. And then I use bunny eye movements, and the bunny takes it away. And then there's a void, and then they come in with a good thing to fill it with, and then bunny gives that back. And it's actually within the session with the child, it's really quite quick. Because they just can go into that state of eyes open hypnosis, because they're in trance all the time when they're playing, even if it's video games. So
I love the simplicity of it, especially because of how you titled it and exactly what it is. You call it the bunny talk process, and it's such a beautiful way of just anchoring in what that person is doing. It's right there on the hand. It's easy for somebody to understand. And with the knowledge that you share and that you teach in your classes and at conferences, you're conveying so beautifully and so effectively that when you enter bunny talk, when you enter this space, when you transition to this approach, all judgment ceases, all shame ceases. And that's where the change takes place. And I don't think people really understand that this is a nervous system. There's so much energy that you can't tell somebody they're safe. You have to energize that and you have to share it and you have to create that space. And the best way to do that is immediately drop shame and judgment at the door and step away from it and then move into a completely different process. And I love the process that you created.
Thank you. And yes, it's always about being client-centered as well. So I
Yeah.
had a young child the other day, and actually, he doesn't like bunny rabbits, but he loves ducks. You know what?
Aw,
We just had a duck.
boom.
It's fine. You just
Yeah.
go, you just go with the client. And it's
Yeah.
I really love trains. Unfortunately, I had some little toy trains, so we
Yeah.
used those as well. So it's just I can't explain how much fun it is,
Hmm.
because when you also have the adult
Yeah.
and and you're doing it with them and they come to you for, say, some inner child work, I don't always use it. But if I
Hmm.
get somebody and it's the right person who I know is very kinesthetic, and
Hmm.
they suddenly just get that emotion, because we know when somebody gets that big emotion,
Hmm.
I'll actually say to them, "How old are you right now?"
Hmm.
And they'll say, "Oh, 3." So I said,
Yeah.
"Right." And it's like we will just then get the play stuff out and we'll do it.
Hmm.
And they are involved and their
Yeah.
inner child is out to play and they actually naturally age regress. So it's, as I said, don't use it all the time.
Hmm.
I do use the emotional intelligence coaching all the time with every single
Very much
client.
so.
But if I get that, because so many of my clients are kinesthetic, they may be yoga teachers, they may be, sort of really into nature and that sort of thing, and
Yeah.
artists. So it's like, well, yeah, they're going to,
Yeah.
a lot of people are creative and
Very much so.
like to explore in a different way than just verbally
Hmm.
your whole auditory thing. It's
Yeah.
there are other ways to help our clients.
So many ways. Thankfully, there are wonderful ways to help our clients. Do you find that parents will come to you unsure if they want their child to go through this process? Because I know you work with children and adults. So I was curious to know as to how parents approach this.
Yeah, so when I get a parent who says, "Can you help my child?" Can I see you first? And then
Hmm.
I'll explain it. And sometimes this has happened. They will take responsibility, and they'll say, "Oh, it's me, and it's from my inner child." So I'll just see them, and I've never had to see the child.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's not. There is because of bullying, and sometimes if I have a teenager who is, say, highly anxious about school, and this has happened
Hmm.
recently twice actually. So I've had the mother come in and the child, and I've done that first session with both of them, because
Yeah.
if they're teenagers, 15, that they can understand the emotional intelligence. The
Hmm.
parent, they've got a double whammy then, they've got there's two of them for one session, one payment.
Yeah.
I don't care. I want them to, get as much as
Yeah.
they can. I want to help people. And then
Right.
the tools and techniques and strategies that I always give to a client, always, so that they can manage life like that, because we know that life is like that. So
Very much so.
I can't stop that happening. It's how do you
Yeah.
manage it? So I will always give NLP techniques. I will give little stories so that they can use those methods, including breathing, of course.
Yeah.
And then the parent has heard. We know that parents are paying, so they will be the ones listening and taking it in. The child
Hmm.
will be engaged, but they won't necessarily remember it. I actually also write it all down for them and then they take it away. So they have
Oh,
the diagrams, they have all the techniques and strategies, little notes that I just know how I write it down for them. And then they have them as reminders. And the parent can then remind the child to like, right, come on, we're going to do the spin technique, or no, it's open our arms, give ourselves a bigger perspective. Remember the monkey story, let it go. It's they can do that in the car going to school or first thing in the morning. So they both have it, and they've both learned it. So I find that very, very helpful.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, that's incredible. Do you only work with people in person or do you also work online?
Yeah, both.
Both. Wow. That's incredible. Is there a story or somebody that really stands out in your mind that just continuously reminds you why you do this work? I absolutely know why you do this work because I've experienced it too. But anyone that really
Yeah, I have. There was a so I see therapists and psychologists, and they actually send me their clients, which is really nice because they know how I work.
Yeah.
So there was one in particular, and she actually gave me a video testimonial, so it's been up. So
Your website is beautiful, yes.
so she came to me and she said she had she came to me because her fingers were bloody. Okay. And but there was a reason why they were so bloody. Okay. I didn't have to hear the story.
Yeah.
She said it was from her child. We did the bunny talk process. And when we were doing checking the works, I always check my work, then more of the story might come out. And they were stuffed in her mouth. And it was the only release she got because her finger felt that she could feel the pain there, and she could just concentrate on that instead of what was going on to her down below.
Wow.
So, and this is why we do what we do.
Yeah.
She has since grown her nails. We got rid of that feeling, and she reframed it. And the body that because I drew around her, she was an adult, young adult, and she had filled it, and it was red and it was raw and it was not very pretty. And when we at the end, she put a pretty dress on it. She had changed the nails, the fingertips from bloody masses to nails. And she was then wearing her engagement ring.
Wow, that's extraordinary.
And that was 5 sessions.
Wow.
Yeah. So we were able, and there was other stuff. There was a lot. There was a lot. And as I say, we don't need to hear stories. I hear the bits and pieces when I check the works. I go, now tell me something.
Yeah.
And instead of going, like I say, if I use this again, instead of going, like that, which is stress, it's, it happened. Not nice, but it's like, it's instead of that being here, it's like there, it's away. So it's like it happened to somebody else. So I help people feel indifferent towards that thing that happened to them. And it was that meant that one meant a lot to me.
Very much so. Wow. Especially because I think the old school model of go to therapy and talk about the problem versus go to somebody who can resolve the problem, because we don't need to keep talking about the problem. We know it. And the same with my work is we don't have to know a lot of details. We just need to know where you're having the sensation and get it to move.
Yeah.
And that's where it really is nervous system based. And the body holds memory, as we both know. And as many people have heard this before, thank goodness for Bessel van der Kolk, the body keeps the score. Once we clear that, somebody's life is so completely, beautifully different. And it's not that they're the problem, it's that they used to have a problem and now they're indifferent about it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
I said it better myself.
That's incredible. When Cheryl had shared that with you, did that move you into the entrepreneurial mindset? Did that move you into the how do I make this a business mindset? What was your thought process through that?
Well, it's quite interesting. She said you've got to do something with it. And she was the one who named it the bunny talk process. And So I wrote a book. It was a parent's journey in the bunny
Yeah.
talk process, and it's just an ebook because it's very short. I know parents don't have time to read, so it's very snappy. It's to the point,
Mm-hmm.
and it's on Amazon. And then I was talking about it at Hypnothoughts and the story behind my daughter, and I did one of the diagrams, and I was explaining about self-harming, and we're not our
Yeah.
behaviors. The not behaviors of cutting, of biting our nails.
Mm-hmm.
We are our good intention, and her, so it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I had two colleagues of ours say to me, "Are you going to make a course?" And I went, "Well, no, because anybody can do shadow puppets.
Yeah.
It's for parents." And they said, "Well, if you don't, we will." And I know they were joking. They
Yeah.
give me the, think outside, do more,
Mm-hmm.
Claudia, think outside the box, do it.
Yeah.
So I did, and that was when I thought, well, actually, this is how I work with my clients. I
Yeah.
thought everybody worked that way. I
Mm.
actually thought they did until I realized they didn't. So,
Yeah.
and it was, Scott Salland, he said to me, you have to train now. You have to do it.
Oh.
So I did. I made it into a course. I was actually able to pilot it to 13 therapists who not even hypnotists. So actually,
Mm-hmm.
it was a little bit more tricky because they had way more questions, especially about
Mm-hmm.
anchoring. And so yeah, it became a course, and it is, I'm lucky. People are loving it. People want to become trainers of it, including a pediatrician, and I've got some of the psychologists who want to
Yeah.
learn to train it. And it's already in Australia. It's in Belgium. It's in England and Ireland. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's been invited. I've been invited to go to India. So
I know you're going international or again internationally in the
yeah,
beginning of the new
so
year. Yeah, that's
it's
extraordinary.
exciting. It's exciting.
That is very exciting. Where are you teaching or speaking next?
Okay, so I actually have an online version in September 20th and 21st. However, I also have a in-person training in Chicago that's at the Mid-America Hypnosis Conference, where you have got the one of the keynotes speeches. And so, yes, I've got a pre-conference there for one day. And anybody who joins that, they will get the online version for free, because it's just a one day, and actually it can take even 2 or 3 days really
Yeah.
to there is a lot into it. It's not just one thing. There's so many moving parts, which is why I'm always inviting my bunny talk practitioners to repeat, and I go over
Yeah.
things on the private Facebook group. There's loads of other little trainings on there. There is a manual. I like to think of myself as a good trainer.
You are an extraordinary trainer, not good, extraordinary. I've
It's
been to the classes. They're amazing.
Well, and I have heard from somebody who used to train trainers for Siemens, and she said to me, you actually are just naturally good at it. And I'm not sure if this is because I used to coach lacrosse and netball, and we used to win. So I'm really competitive. I like things to be done well.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to do them, I want everybody else to understand all the nuts and bolts of it. And
Yeah.
I am there to make sure that they do. And so I'm very supportive in my trainings, and I'm always there at the end of the phone as well, because this is important work.
Very much so. I absolutely love that. That's incredible. If anybody wants to reach out to you, what's the best way to reach you?
Okay, so you can get in contact with me from my website, which is claudiarickardhypnosis.com.
Absolutely. And we'll have everything in the show notes. Is there anything else that you want to share with our listeners?
So keep being you, and every day invite yourself to be the best version of yourself every day. And this is something I say out loud every single morning. I wonder what wonderful thing will happen today. And I actually
Aww.
finish it with a little R, which I got from Mike Mandel.
I love that. I love that. And I know you have a phenomenal Facebook community, Becoming a Happier You. It's beautiful, and you touch base in there with your followers and all your people that absolutely adore you and just making the world a better place. And it's great. So
Yeah.
thank you for your phenomenal work. And that's it for now. So thank you so much for spending time with me. It was beautiful to see you again. And to our listeners, thank you so much for spending time with us here. And we will see you next time. So stay well, everyone.
Okay. Thank you, Lenora. Bye, everybody.